Joe Fazer, thank you. You have done something spectacular. This video here, how I grew my neck thicker, is amazing because it highlights to a very big audience, because we know Joe gets a lot of views, right? So it highlights to a very big audience the importance of neck training. Neck training is so underrated, literally so fucking underrated. No one trains neck. I remember when I first trained neck back in 2019 because I was inspired by Alpha Destiny. I remember I was doing it and my friends were taking the piss. I'll never forget, well, it was one guy in particular and we were friends, so it was lighthearted and it wasn't that deep, but I remember I was doing it and the next day at work, guys were like, oh, you train your neck, you train your neck. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I train my neck. No one really understood it. No one really gets neck training. Like, it doesn't attract people in the same way training arms or biceps does. So Joe, thank you for highlighting the importance of neck training. Guys, in today's video, we're gonna dissect 4 key moments from this video. I'm gonna give you some neck training recommendations at the end. So let's begin.
Fast forward the clock to now, and while I don't look big in clothes yet, I definitely look a lot bigger.
And that's the first thing about neck training. It makes you look big in clothes. No one can see your abs in winter or how big your legs are when you're wearing shorts, tracksuit, and jeans to protect yourself from this treacherous weather outside. But everyone will always see your neck. The only time your neck is not on display is when you're wearing a scarf. And are you wearing a scarf for the majority of your day? No. Are you wearing a scarf indoors? No. The neck is one of the only muscle groups that is always, literally 99% of the time, on display. So if you can get a big neck, big traps and big shoulders, as Joe recommends in this video, you're gonna look fucking huge. This is why I absolutely love this video, and this is literally what Alpha Destiny preached back in the day, and he still preaches. Alpha Destiny is the godfather of neck training, and I'm so glad to see a cameo of him in this video.
In order to build this bigger upper part here, there's 3 muscle groups you need to train: shoulders, traps, and neck.
These are what Alpha Destiny calls the enhanced muscles. He has another 3 in addition, so 6 in total, but this is just the first 3 he mentioned. Joe, you must have gone on a 2018 Alpha Destiny binge watch session, because his videos from 2018 and 17, his gym training videos in that orange looking gym was so, I say were as if they're not, they still are fucking addicting to watch.
You want to be hitting all 3 heads of the shoulders. Shoulder press and front raises for the front delt, pullbacks for the rear delt, and lateral raises for the side delt, which the side delt is the one you want to hammer the most.
Now, on this point, I feel like front delt isolation work isn't necessary for many people because we do a lot of bench pressing that works the front delts as well. And the fact that you mentioned to do vertical overhead press. So I think that is fantastic. When I first watched this video, I actually missed you saying to do shoulder press. And I was gonna comment and say, what the fuck, where's the vertical pressing movement? You know, Alpha Destiny would be raging if you watched this video and saw that you missed vertical pressing movement, but I'm glad you did. So because we've included vertical press movement in addition to most people doing a lot of benching, in my opinion, I don't think isolating the front delt isn't necessary. However, side delt and rear delt is non-negotiable. You must train side and rear delt, and I'm so glad that you mentioned this, Joe.
I do 2 heavier sets of 10 to 15 reps on barbell shrugs. I make sure every session to progressively overload, if that be more reps or more weight. Then I move on to 2 sets of just complete failure with dumbbells. It doesn't really matter the weight, I just want to be burning them out at the end.
Now this makes total sense, especially the part of 2 sets to failure. Although that might sound like it's too much and how you're gonna recover from it. From what I've learned, the upper back can take a beating. The upper back can take an absolute punishment. So if you go to failure on the upper back often, it's not as impactful on your recovery and subsequent workouts as taking your legs to failure as often, from my experience. So the barbell shrugs 10 to 15 and the 2 sets of dumbbell shrugs to failure, I think is a perfect recipe for growing the traps. One thing I would add, however, is the inclusion of cheat shrugs. Now this is very, very Alpha Destiny philosophy. This is literally what Alpha Destiny recommends. And my experience with them, although it wasn't a prolonged experience, it was a good experience. If you load up a fuck ton of weight and you do cheat shrugs, the weighted component is what grows the traps. When the bar is coming down and it's pulling down on your traps, and your traps are literally there stabilizing your whole arm to make sure your arm doesn't fall out of its sockets, that is when the traps grow. So one little thing I would recommend is weighted shrugs. Not weighted shrugs, what am I talking about? Of course not weighted shrugs, of course you're gonna use weight. Cheat shrugs, that's what I tried to say. Sorry, my brain spazzed there. Anyways, 4th key moment we want to dissect here.
Look at Mike Tyson, for example, back in the day. His neck was extremely wide due to him training it a lot for boxing, and in clothes, the guy looked like a monster.
Undoubtedly, he looks fucking scary. Why? Because he has a big neck. So look, in terms of doing the neck curls to failure, I think these are very, very doable at home or in the gym, because all you need is a beanie. That's it, some sort of beanie or hoodie to put on your forehead so that the weight plate isn't directly on your forehead, because that will hurt, I know from experience. And as long as you have a beanie, 2 sets to failure is perfect. I would not recommend I wouldn't recommend bodybuilder style rep ranges for neck training. So I don't recommend you do a set of 5 to 10 followed by a set of 10 to 15. No. We save that for bodybuilding in the gym type stuff. For neck training that you do at the end of the workout or at home, I recommend high fucking reps. So I remember my days when I used to do 3 sets of 25, 3 sets of 15, 4 sets of 20. You know, you want to get between 30 to 100 total reps in one neck workout. Split it up however you want. You can even do 3 sets of 33, that's a beautiful one, and then just add an extra rep on the last set to get to 100. You guys, there's a lot of option here, but high reps and close to failure on neck training is beautiful. The neck can recover very quick. I don't know how, I don't know why, but there's just something about the neck that if you get the pump, if you get your neck pumped up, I know that sounds fucking weird, but if you get a neck pump, it will grow nicely. It will grow so nicely that, you know what, 2 sets to failure before bed, as Joe recommends, is a very great recommendation. It's fantastic. Honestly, it really is.
These neck harnesses off Amazon for literally 20 quid. Twice a week before bed, I do 2 sets to failure of neck front raises, 2 sets to failure of neck back raises. That's it.
Neck curls is probably the first recommendation for people. Start off with neck curls, see how you like neck training, see how many more compliments you get, and then once you like it, move on to the neck extension. Buy the harness, buy the brace, get your neck extension fucking strong, and you will look, as Joe said at the end of this video, more masculine. And like I always say, if I'm on your screen right now, then I've kept your interest somehow. Make sure you click the first link in my description to get a free hypertrophy program sent to your email that includes everything you're seeing on screen now. Completely free, sent to your email in the next 1 minute. If you're looking to get absolutely huge this year, this is the right way to go.